Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to the Sports Card Show. Today I'm going to do a product demonstration of a few different items, and I want to talk about something that is, I think, of interest to most sports card collectors, and that is the idea of penny sleeves, as these are called in the hobby. Whether you're a newer collector and you're kind of wondering, what should I be using to protect my cards, or you're somebody who's been in the industry for a long time, or in the hobby for a long time, and you want to maybe learn about a product or two that you've not run into, I think this video should have something for you all. So what I've got here is 4 different types of sleeves. All of these sleeves I carry in my online store, hotcardboard.com. And all of these are available, in a variety of places. So they will have different price points. The prices that I've got on here are the prices I sell these at on my card store. And I like to think they're pretty competitive prices. I've certainly seen these sleeves, all of these products for more at, different places online. So this is just kind of to show you the price of each product relative, to each other. So what we've got here is 4 different types of card sleeves, and they're from 3 different brands. 2 of these are from Cardboard Gold, one is from Ultra Pro, and one is from Shells. Now I want to talk a little bit about each of these companies. Ultra Pro has probably been around, I guess Cardboard Gold has been around for a while, but Ultra Pro I would call kind of the leader of, card supplies, in that I see them most frequently in card shops and, in card shows. I think they've probably got the largest business of sports card supplies. They're generally, I think understood to be relatively high quality and kind of respected by collectors across the globe. So their one product here is just a regular card sleeve, just their sort of, kind of base level protective sleeve for cards. Right next to it is Cardboard Gold's base soft sleeve that is sort of a competitor of this one. And Cardboard Gold has been around for quite some time as well. I would sort of call them like the second place sports card supply company, after Ultra Pro, I should say. All of these, both Ultra Pro and Cardboard Gold and many other manufacturers of supplies for sports cards also make supplies for, comic book collectors, coin collectors, and so forth. So I sort of refer to them as, card supply manufacturers, but they actually do a lot more. Now, on the right here, far right here, is a relatively new product. This is also from Cardboard Gold. It's very similar to this soft sleeve, but it is a notched soft sleeve, and you probably can't see. It's hard to see, but right on the left corner here, there's a slanted cut right there, and that helps you get the card into the sleeve a bit more easily than if it did not have that. Sometimes if you've put a sleeve or a card in a sleeve, you'll notice that it sort of catches on the corner sometimes if the sleeve is bent a certain way, and the card is maybe sometimes a thicker card, or a card that is like a heritage, Topps Heritage, where it's not got a glossy coating to kind of help it slide into the sleeve. So that's what those notch sleeves are for, and I'll talk quite a bit more about that because I think that's an important part of this product review here. Now, this on the left here is a product that is from a company called Shells, and they're a relatively new entrant into the sports card supply game, but they do have a fair number of products, all I think focused around sports cards, tradable cards. So these card sleeves, top loaders, semi-rigid holders, and so forth. They offer all those kinds of products and quite a few more. Now this is also a notched sleeve. However, it is sort of a proprietary design. On the upper right, you see a slanted cut, just like with the notched soft sleeves from Cardboard Gold. There's also sort of a rounded cut here. I want to show you guys, if I can, the top, what this looks like. Oh boy, it's really hard to see because they're obviously clear, but you can kind of see it on the left and right corners there. So basically what the net of this is both sides, have a cut in them, each a different sort of style, and that helps you get the card in even more easily, I think, than the notched sleeves from Cardboard Gold. So let's talk about the Ultra Pro base kind of soft sleeves. Now this sleeve has for many years been kind of my go-to standard sleeve. I put all of the cards that are worth sleeving, I put into this sleeve for many years, and it's a relatively consistent product quality. I think that I'm going to put a card in. I've got 4 of the exact same card here, so we can kind of put the exact same card into each of these sleeves. See how it looks, see how it feels. Now when I put this in, that goes in relatively easily. So this particular card has a glossy finish, not a super glossy, but a pretty glossy finish, so it kind of slides right in. And the consistency of these sleeves, so there's not like kind of a bend in towards the right or left edge. It's a nice flat sleeve, so it's easy to get cards into. The consistency of quality in from sleeve to sleeve within the pack is generally very good, and it's just a good, reliable, cheap, relatively cheap sleeve that I think is good for putting mass amounts of cards in as you collect. I've put many tens of thousands of cards into these sleeves. They've been well protected. I've put them in monster box, 5,000 count monster boxes for several years. Pulled them out, sent many of them in for grading, and they did just fine. So I know this sleeve works well. I know it protects cards in large monster box kinds of storage solutions. So I like it a lot. It at $1.49, it's a little bit higher price than some of the other alternatives out there, including this one, which we'll talk about next. And there's even cheaper ones that I'll say a little bit about as alternatives to these. But I really just think this is a good standby kind of option for your general collecting needs. This Ultra Pro. I also think that these sleeves tend to be a little bit clearer than some of the alternatives from Cardboard Gold and some of the cheaper alternatives out of China. But all these are from China, but there are sleeves that are sort of non-branded sleeves, of which there are many different variations. All of them are manufactured in China, and it's those sort of off-brand sleeves that I refer to when I say some of the other kind of bargain product options out there. And most of those are not as clear as the Ultra Pro sleeve. So I really do like the quality of this. It's not like premium quality, but it's consistent, and it's pretty high quality compared to a lot of the sort of options that are cheaper than this. However, one option that is cheaper than the Ultra Pro is the Cardboard Gold standard sleeve, which is right here. And it's hard to tell, in this video, but this one is a little bit sort of cloudier than the Ultra Pro, and there's like a little sort of bend in the sleeve, just from, I don't know, kind of being bent in the package a little bit. This side is sort of bent up a little bit. So if you look at these side to side, and again, I know it's really hard to tell with lighting and video and stuff. This one does look a little bit clearer, but honestly not even that much that you'd really notice it at all unless you had them side by side. So this one, the Cardboard Gold kind of standard soft sleeve, I have found, having used many of these sleeves as well, that the consistency and quality is a fair bit lower than the Ultra Pros. They do sometimes come a little bit bent, which is not usually an issue, but sometimes if there's a real, hard bend in there, I'll just throw the sleeve away because I don't want a card, put in there and then put in a monster box and then sort of pressed, the card against the sleeve in a way that's going to damage the card. So the consistency with these sleeves is a little bit less than the Ultra Pros, and the quality of the plastic is maybe 10% less, but not significant, in a way that will hurt the cards in any fashion. So it's really just the kind of the quality control is a little bit higher with the Ultra Pros. The sleeves themselves are really, pretty similar, but the sort of number of the defective ones that I end up having to throw away out of Cardboard Gold is a little bit higher than with Ultra Pros. So these are cheaper, and that can be a compelling factor if you're wanting to sleeve 10,000 cards a month or a year or whatever. So this is certainly a quality sleeve that I have no issues putting my cards in. I've put many thousands of cards in them, and I think for the price, it's definitely a solid option for kind of those like second tier cards you wouldn't necessarily put in a top loader or any additional protection. So if cost is an issue, given the quantity of the sleeves you're going to use, I would say this is a fine sleeve. If cost is no issue and you want kind of a slightly more premium product, I would go with the Ultra Pro for the regular sleeves. Now let's talk about the notch sleeves. Okay, this Cardboard Gold one just has the slanted cut there, and if I put a card in here, what you'll see is, and I didn't really realize this until I had these in hand, is that see if I can show you up close here. You see the corner of the card just sort of sticks out past the slant, so it's exposed, and if I go like this, if I drop it, it's going to hit that corner. So these notch sleeves are not great if the sleeve is the only thing that's going to be protecting a card. What they are good for is if you have top loaders that you're going to put this card into and store it that way, then that sort of gap in coverage is not an issue, because it will never hit anything in this top holder, that corner, because the sleeve will hit it first. So it's good for, this notch sleeve is good for cards that you are going to protect in some other form other than the sleeve, and I would not recommend it for cards that you're just going to put in a sleeve by itself, put it in a box, and kind of forget about it for a few years until you go looking through it later looking for hits that you forgot. Another great use of these notch sleeves would be to put into card savers like this. This is a Card Saver 1. This is the sort of standard semi-rigid card holder used for submitting cards for grading. Again, if you put a notch sleeve in here, that corner is never going to be touched. So you're good to go. And a lot of times, before I had these notch sleeves, I would clip a corner of a card of a sleeve and put it in one of these when I was going to submit this for grading. So that's the Cardboard Gold notch sleeve. An advantage of these is that at $1.29 for a notch sleeve, that's actually a pretty low price. So if you submit a lot of cards for grading and you want some notch sleeves, to handle those, I think this is a pretty good option. And the quality of these sleeve is basically the same as the standard Cardboard Gold sleeve over there. So finally, and this is a product that I just got in, earlier today actually, but I had ordered this about a week ago and I was pretty excited about it. The Shell's Easy Glide Premium Soft Sleeve. So these are, I would say, more than any of the other options we've got here, these are a premium product. The consistency of this product and the clarity, the lack of any kind of bend anywhere in here, and the preciseness of the cuts on those corners is just very good quality. The packaging is sort of more premium. Like the case that these came in was just sort of a cut above any of these other products. So this really is a higher end product that is reflected in the price. And so if you can swing $1.99 for 100 of these, this would be the best thing to put your cards in, no question. But if you're sleeving thousands of cards a month, or maybe even thousands of cards a year, maybe you want to go with a lower price option. One of these other things, or one of these other sleeves will do a little bit better for you. But what I love about this sleeve is that it has the notch corners, and it does cover the entire, both corners of the card while in the sleeve. So there's not a corner sticking out like with the cardboard gold sleeves. So it really is a, kind of a perfect option, really. If you could afford, putting all of your star cards or all the cards you're going to sleeve into this sleeve, I would absolutely do it. I may consider doing that, but I may not. I may just sort of use this for my more premium cards, that I want to make sure I don't ding a corner on, because it's a, whatever $15 card that I may want to send off to grading, and make sure I don't, hurt a corner in any way. But this is just an outstanding product. It's very high quality, and the design of the notches there is just really good. So as far as I'm concerned, this is kind of like, if you didn't care about price, this is the best sleeve I've seen out there. It really does everything that you want from a sleeve. It's very easy to use because of the notch corners. It's really just a good product. So if you can get over the fact that it's a bit higher than anything else, and if you buy these in quantity, I don't really sell them in quantity, but if you bought a case of these, it would probably be like $1.70 or $1.80 maybe per bag if you bought 100 bags of these or something like that. So there are options out there to get these things cheaper, but if you bought 100 of any of these, then the price would go down as well. So the difference in price would sort of be maintained regardless of which of these products you decided to use if you bought them in quantity. So that's just something to think about. So there you go. That's kind of an explanation of all these products. I think each of them has a use, and I do use all of these in kind of different ways. So I like to have them all on hand, but you may like the simplicity of only using one and just kind of doing whatever you need, like cutting off a corner of the Ultra Pros if you occasionally want to do that to get a card that's hard to sleeve without fussing with the corner of the sleeve. You may want to do that instead of having 2 or 3 of these products in your collection. But there you go. There's our sort of sleeve showdown. I was excited to do this, and I was just kind of waiting for these Shells ones to get in. This is also a great company. It's a small local veteran-owned company in the U.S., and I think they're well worth supporting. So that's another great thing about the Shells one. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you get some use out of this information. I have to say, I have often sort of looked for information, like especially with the notched sleeves, for like reviews on YouTube, and there really isn't anything. So hopefully somebody who's kind of wondering what sleeves are best and what to buy can find this video and get some value out of it. But that's what we've got for today. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you're getting some great cards that need some sleeving, and we will catch you all next time. You have a great one. Bye now.